Welcome everyone to Trend Micro Talks. I am your host, Erin Tomie, and today we're talking to Trend Micro Senior Product Marketing Manager, Erin Sindelar. Erin, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Erin?
I'm fabulous. I would love to just start with you sharing a bit about your current role at Trend Micro.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm currently responsible for product marketing on a cloud project. Product marketing has been a super fun change from my past at Trend with communications in general. It's been fun to get closer to the field and work with customers and help sales teams globally and really be responsible for shaping the value positioning and how we talk about cloud to the market.
Well, Erin, before you joined Trend Micro, you worked at a media agency that actually helped manage part of Trend Micro's PR activities. What part of your experience working with us on the agency side made you want to join the Trend Micro team?
Yeah, it's kind of a unique way to start with a company. My first day at Trend, I kept doing the job I had been doing for several years, which is pretty fun. When I started at the agency, I was super junior, so I didn't work with any of the Trend team at first. So I first fell in love with the work itself. I didn't know anything about cybersecurity when I came in, and quickly realized that I really had found a passion in this industry. So when I started supporting the research teams and writing a lot of contributed content and blogs on behalf of the company, I realized I wanted to dig in more to cybersecurity itself. So I started getting certifications and learning to code and building out my understanding of the topics that I was writing about and talking to reporters about, so that I really knew what I was saying instead of just regurgitating something that I had heard from within Trend. And then after a few years, I started to work more with the best part of Trend, which is our people. Trenders make everything that we do so much better. So after 3 years total on the agency side, an opportunity to move internal came about, and it was the easiest job change I've ever made. It took very little time or consideration to move internal and be part of the real Trend team.
Yeah, it's funny what you said at the beginning there about when you started at Trend Micro, you basically were doing the same job, which I'm sure is a very unique experience that not too many people can relate to. But I know that you're not the first person who's kind of made that change from an agency over to the Trend Micro team. It's quite common, which I guess says some pretty good things about Trend Micro, that we're kind of encouraging people. And I had no idea about kind of all the back-end certifications you started getting and the research so that you could feel more comfortable speaking, because it's not something that most people know about to really speak to every day. So I commend you for putting in the kind of that extra effort to feel more confident speaking about the research and the technology.
Yeah, I was it was just so interesting. And I was in consumer technology, public relations before, but nothing even remotely touching security. So I had no clue when I first was introduced to Trend what anything was, what any of the acronyms meant, what any of the words meant. So I really needed to fix that.
Well, on that similar vein, I know that while you were on the PR team, you also were able to work as a research analyst on Trend Micro Research publications, and you've always been involved, even since the agency, on elevating what we do in threat intelligence. So I have to know, what piece of research stands out to you from the last 5 years as the most interesting to work on?
Gosh, that's hard. Like you said, research has been my area of focus until last October when I moved into the cloud team. So I've had a lot of opportunity to work on some fantastic projects. Probably my two favorite are not things that I actually did, but first is PawnStorm. That is nation state related research, and as a media relations person, that is a gold mine of incredible nuggets to share with reporters. And a few of the research reports timed really well with trending news topics, because the actor group was doing things related to like global election activities and things like that. So those reports caught a lot of media attention, and a career highlight in media relations was taking calls from CNN, BAP, and Reuters in the same day. That is hard to replicate and hard to beat as a really, really monumental day. the other completely different type of research. The Zero Day Initiative hosts Pwn to Own every year, and the first time Tesla was invited as a partner, that was a really interesting whirlwind with another huge brand. So it was a lot of coordinated media outreach and event planning itself. So a super different type of work, but obviously a lot of reporters and a lot of the general public was really interested in a zero-day exploit against a Tesla hub unit. So that team and all of the researchers involved in that worked really hard to ensure there would be something to demonstrate. The ZDI team had their own demo of a functional exploit chain in case one of the competitors wasn't successful. Both happened in the end, but the ZDI team just repeated this at Pwn to Own a few weeks ago as well, and it's I had a little bit of FOMO. I really miss supporting Pwn to Own and everything the ZDI does. And that first Tesla attempt was a significant highlight of all the research work that I supported.
One thing I did want to bring up is one of my favorite pieces of research that you've actually worked on, which I read, I don't know if it was a few months ago, I should have looked up the date, but you wrote a blog post about what to expect in a ransomware negotiation. And I found it super interesting, and basically I wrote down, it's basically what victims go through during the aftermath and recovery process of a ransomware attack, and the report kind of looked at the victim support chats for 5 ransomware families, and the support chat aspect of it I found so interesting that I feel like there's kind of that old school version of the ransomware attack where it's like the thing on your computer and then that's pretty much it, but now there's support chats and people to walk you through the experience from the bad actor side of how to go through a ransomware event.
It was really, really interesting research. That was my big project when I was on the research team, was following some negotiations and reading some chats and understanding what companies go through to offer advice on dealing with it. And it's evolved even further because this was 2021, I think. November 2021 is when it actually published, so it's been a bit. But yeah, that is my favorite thing that I worked on by far, and learned so much about the sophistication of business, the business side of cybercrime. And most recently, the Forward-Looking Threat Research team has published kind of a follow-on to that topic of the in-depth business models and like HR hiring teams and customer support and all the different functionalities that mirror a legitimate organization within a cybercriminal business. So it's a growing industry.
Well, Erin, I could certainly talk to you about research all day. I know it's a topic that we both love, but I appreciate you coming on the show even for a short time to talk about your experience at Trend and working on threat research. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thank you, Erin.